morning, everybody. Today I want to do a quick video on how to clean a cup. So I want to make sure you get all of this inside rim and the edges cleaned up. So one word of advice, I recommend doing the first major cleanup right after your first epoxy. And that's not if you're glittering with epoxy, that's not that layer. It's the first one that you're trying to get a truly smooth finish. So on this one, you can see I've already sanded the cup, so that's not part of this video. I've made sure that it's smooth all the way around on the bottom. But now we're going to clean up the inside. I really haven't seen any videos like it, so that's why you're standing in my lap. Alright, baby wipes. Acetone. I recommend these little bottles from Dollar Tree, just $1. I put my acetone in it, and just word of advice, don't close it all the way. If you have it totally tight, you're going to lose all your acetone. It's going to bubble out the top. So I usually keep it a little like open, that way, no big deal, or slightly open, because it doesn't like to be in the completely enclosed container. All right, acetone, baby wipe, cup, X-Acto knife. Be very careful. I'm not responsible for any damages you do to yourself with an X-Acto knife, but you do need this usually for any scraping of epoxy around the lid, etc. So let's get started. So my first step is usually going around the top edge and doing one good scrape with the X-Acto knife. So I just go around the edge. It's not slanted. I go straight across. You see it's peeling up. Some of that is just paint and glitter. Some of it might be epoxy. So one good scrape. And so that's where you want to pretty much stop. You don't want to get over the edge and break a seal. But this is the first major epoxy level. So obviously you're going to epoxy again. You'll have some cleanup after that, but to me, when you've base painted, you've glittered, you got alcohol inks, you've done your epoxy, this is the first major cleanup. And should be the only major cleanup. You should have slight ones later after you epoxy again. Alright, so next, I'm going to take some acetone. We're going to start cleaning out that paint. So my recommendation is do anything above the inside lips. So I'm going to do right in here all the way around first. All the paint, any potential glitter. Mine really doesn't have epoxy that far down. So if you're really messy when you do epoxy, you might. And you might have to use the X-Acto knife. And it's very helpful if you have fingernails, especially with the little lips on the inside. Okay, so let me do this. Alright, so that's the first level is on that inside. Now we're going to go around the lips. Let's see if I can get this blurry. Alright, So now we're going to go around the lips, and you can see there's some little lines. And then we're going to eventually work our way on the inner lips, because there's multiple on most of these cups. So I use my finger on the place with the acetone on the baby wipe to go around against the lid to make sure that is done. Alright, we're going to go to the next layer. And just keep on going. So I need to get some more acetone. Like I said, I use my finger now a lot to get against those little lips. So this first round, I'm just trying to get as much of that paint off as possible. And I do feel some epoxy in there. So we'll go back and use the X-Acto knife on that part. So we're starting to get good clean parts in there. Now on this outer lip, you're going to see that's where you're going to have more of epoxy. You could do one scrape around with the X-Acto knife, but a lot of this is like paint and glitter. As you can see, it's coming off with my fingernail. So let's try to get as much of that off with just the acetone. That way we can actually see where we need to scrape. Because you don't want to indent it unnecessarily, scratch it unnecessarily. Because you can do that. That's right there. There's a big chunk of epoxy on that. And yes, cleaning is no fun, but it's a necessary evil. Do you want to buy a cup, either from the store or from personal, and all this gunk is on the inside? It's just nasty. It's not sanitary. Alright. So got a lot of that off. But as you can see, there's parts that are really thick. So those are parts with epoxy. So you need to get your your X-Acto knife. And just try to scrape it sideways. But be careful, don't cut yourself. And see that piece? Get it started, usually a big old chunk will come off. Okay. Sorry guys, electricity went off in our area. Somebody hit a line or something, so we'll finish it from where we left off. We were cleaning out with an X-Acto knife of the epoxy, so let's do that. Alright, so just keep cleaning the areas with the epoxy, being careful not to cut yourself. Little pieces left here and there. It's still paint, but not a whole lot of that. Alright, I think I got all the epoxy. And go again around the acetone, get any of the other spots off. All right, and give it a good around the edge, the acetone. And then, you know, this is another reason why you want to make sure your base coat is not too obnoxious against, you know, not only the color you're making the outside, but on the rim, because you will see some of that. I mean, it's pretty natural. So, well, especially once you clean it up. So like this, obviously, you can see that I did a white base. You can see it around the edge, but that's okay. You know, I could have done this orange or whatever, and it'd be less obvious, but you're good. So that's your quick and easy guide to cleaning your cups. And obviously you will want to eventually, you know, like wash this, you know, before you do your decals, epoxy, etc. You want to make sure this is clean. Thing keeps coming off. So just make sure you clean the inside. Nobody wants a dirty cup. Thanks everyone. Like and subscribe. I try to do quick and easy videos to help y'all with your tumbler making. Have a great day.